all weekend. Hey, welcome everybody to the SideQuest, where we are fucking around tonight because we have dick all to talk about, and it's the middle of the week, the middle of goddamn summer.
It is just the two of us.
It's just it's the way it should be when you think about it. If I'm hunched over, this is Dolly, by the way. If I'm hunched over, it's because I could just hold it like this and be okay. I have the this Behringer, really not great Behringer mic. It's okay. It is more for oh shit, Hangouts on Air is going away on August 1st. We may only have this week and next week to record.
All right, we gotta, as soon as the show's done, we gotta test that Twitch thing, and then I guess I gotta teach you how to do it, right? Because you're the host.
Yeah, you do. Oh, look at that! I can raise this fucking thing up.
Teach you how to use OBS like us pros.
That's what I gotta learn is OBS and all that shit. That's Aaron, by the way, of course. Aaron drinking Fireball. Medical Fireball, right? This is medical.
Oh, so
let's start off with the medical story.
So Tuesday, updated continuing adventures of my gross ass feet. I finally had a consult with the doctor who can fix me. He's back. It turns out he's South African.
Great.
So he starts talking, and I immediately, my brain kind of shut off for a minute because I don't think I've heard a South African accent.
Really? You haven't heard one since Ludwig on
yeah, because I mean, there aren't really any around here, right? And my brain shut off, and I was like, "Oh man, there's an accent I haven't heard." And then
that's a nice accent, I gotta say. It's
nice. And so then I picked it back up. I mean, he's talking and stuff, and he was very blunt, which was very funny. He goes, "All right," and he turns a monitor around, and he goes, "Here's a picture of your lungs. Here are your lymph nodes, and I can tell from the size of the way they are swelling that it is sarcoidosis. It's not lymphoma. And whoever told you it was lymphoma is a fucking idiot and bad at their job."
Wow.
And I went, "All right, I'm on board. Let's do this." And he goes, "I'm so confident that it's lymphoma, or that it's not lymphoma, that I'm going to write you a prescription for prednisol right now and give you very specific instructions on how to take it because it's not an official diagnosis, but it's going to fix you." I went, "Great." And he goes, "You have to come in for a biopsy on next Tuesday because I want a sample." Because I guess doctors don't know how this disease starts. They don't know what triggers it. So any chance, and it's rare, so any chance they get to study it, they are all the fuck over it. So he's like, "You're coming in for a biopsy on Tuesday. I'm going to be the one doing it. And then we have to keep you under observation pretty much all day." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Oh, because your lung could implode." Oh. I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, with a biopsy, we're cutting a piece out of your lung. And, if we cut too deep or we make the hole the wrong way,
holy shit,
your lung just deflates. And then I can save you. It's no problem at all. It's just that's why we got to watch you." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Yeah, it happened last week." I went, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I did a biopsy last week and then cut too deep and the guy's lung imploded." And I went, "Oh," and he went, "Yeah, it was fine though. I saved him." I was like,
"I saved him." That's so weird. I saved him.
I was like, "Okay, let's do it then." He's like, "All right, next week." So he sent me home with a prescription to get filled at my local pharmacy of prednisone, which is like a steroid. I guess it's like the same type of steroid that's in asthma puffers. I took half a pill because I'm only supposed to take half of them once a day. The first day. And then I woke up the next day and I could walk again.
Wow. So it helped.
It helped immediately. My feet were 50. My feet were 50% better after one day on this steroid. And I am now on day 3 and I can just walk again. I'm fine. I can get my feet back on my shoes. Like I'm not in pain anymore.
You're back to normal.
My feet aren't swollen anymore. They're a little bit swollen, but like not nearly as bad as they were. So yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
I'm cured-ish.
That's fantastic. You're between you and Sam. I don't know.
Here's the best part.
Shit you guys to go through. It's unbelievable.
Here's the best part. So it costs $4 to leave the parking lot at the hospital. They have a toll booth, like an exit booth. You can get in for free, but to make the arm lift to get out, you have to pay $4. Which is fine because, hospitals need money and, Canadian healthcare is socialized. So any money they can get for the hospitals, everybody's fine with it. I paid more exiting the hospital over the last month for this problem than I did for the medicine to fix me. I paid $20.96 to fix me.
Oh my God.
None of my doctor's appointments cost me any money. None of my treatment in the hospital or the test cost me any money. And I left the hospital, I think, 6 times so far. So I paid $24 to get out of the hospital, and I paid $20 for the medicine to fix me.
Are you listening, America? This is why we got to go to this, because you wouldn't have been saved. I mean, you might have been, but do you know how much money it would cost you to get fixed?
I
Or
wonder
to
if I
get
could
diagnosed properly, right? That's a big thing. You wouldn't have been diagnosed properly. Well, good on you, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's always good to hear when a side quester has their medical situation so partly resolved. I mean, yeah, we're gonna hopefully your lung won't collapse on Tuesday, but well,
and if it does, he can save me.
He can save you. He's Mick Dreamy. I don't know, whatever. Well, awesome. That's good. That's good stuff.
So yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'm not in crippling agony, and I can go to work again. Although
awesome.
I never stopped going to work. That was the downside.
Sure. You were just kind of. Were you in pain when you were at work?
So I would force my feet into shoes, to walk outside, and for the first like 2 weeks, I was still walking to work, and it was agony. And then it got to the point where I couldn't make it up hills anymore. Like, because my feet couldn't bend. So as soon as I started to go up a hill, like I couldn't make it up a hill. So I had to start getting drives to and from work. So I would literally get picked up outside my apartment and get driven to work. And I would stumble my way into work. And then I would sit down in a chair and take my shoes off.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And as soon as my shoes were off and I was sitting down, I was fine. So.
Well, let's hope that this is it for the foreseeable future for you.
And in the meantime, I'm one step away from becoming a Twitch affiliate.
No, what's that last step? Reaching
yeah, it's an average of like 3 viewers over X amount of hours.
Okay.
Which is apparently the hardest one to fucking do, because the longer you stream, the more that number is. Because it's like they're like, you need to have 3 viewers over X amount of hours, where X is the number of hours you stream. So if I stream for an hour and I only have 1 viewer, then that number has to be higher for every. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but I'm at an average of like, I don't know, fucking 2 over 60 hours or something like that.
Okay.
Something crazy like that. I'm getting that. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So the other 3, it was like 50 followers. Like that's done. I'm at like 52 or 53. Stream for 40 hours or 8 hours or whatever it is. Like I did that in a day. Stream for 12 days straight. Well, done.
It's great that Twitch actually tells you via a checklist what you have to do to become an affiliate. Like that's awesome. YouTube I think it's still like you gotta apply for it and hope that they like your shit. And
so the thing about
kind of that way too. I think
the thing about Twitch, I'm just opening up my dashboard here so I can see exactly what the wording is. So they have 2 categories of whatever, right? There's Twitch affiliate and there's Twitch partner. Twitch affiliate is the first step, is the one that lets you accept bits and I guess get subscriptions. And it says, to receive invitation to the affiliate program, you must simultaneously meet all 4 requirements over a 30-day period. And then there's a learn more button. And then it just shows you the 4 requirements. So yeah, it's good. And then path to partner is the other one.
Sure.
And that one is 3 check marks, and it's stream for 25 hours, stream on 12 different days. So it shares some of the affiliate ones. And then the final one is average of 75 viewers over X amount of hours streamed. And then once you've done those, it says, to be eligible to apply to the partner program, you must meet all 3 requirements within the same 30-day period. All calculations exclude premieres, reruns, and subscriber streams. Please note that applying does not guarantee partnership.
Sure.
So if you're pulling off 75 people concrete like your whole time, and you got all the other stuff done, you might just not get to be a partner because they want their partners to be, influencers.
Influencers, exactly. But I mean, that first step, at least getting that first step, you can say I'm, Well,
that first step's the one. The first step's the one that matters, really, because that first step's the one that lets people donate bits to you, and lets people subscribe to you. And you make money off all of that. I don't give a shit about the money. I just want to get it so I can introduce myself as a Twitch affiliate, because I think that's so obnoxious.
What's the big difference between partner and affiliate? Like, what do you get if you're a partner?
I think you get like I think you get like a bunch of stuff for your chat. Like you get more emotes slots. The big one that is restricted to partner, I think, is that you get control over your stream's bandwidth.
You get more stuff.
Like mine right now, like I stream in 1080, and I think anybody who watches my stream can only see it in 1080. There's no way to adjust it. And I think that's one of the perks. And there's probably some other shit too. I've never looked into it.
You get to like stream with Drake. I think that happens.
That one's Drake just shows up at your house.
He shows up at your house. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Drake. I was on Degrassi." I'm like,
cool.
I know Drake. I watched it.
I watched Drake.
I knew you before you rapped. Cool.
I'm looking forward to once we get this new house actually being able to stream, because that's gonna be a big part of my new office that I'll be building up is actually having like a little mini streaming studio and making sure I can get shit done so I can get the time to do it. So that's my goal.
Gonna get some soundproof panels. I'm looking into those.
I'm tempted. I might just get that portable soundproofing kit that you put it behind the microphone and around in front of you, like a couple panels that you can hang. That's one thing that I was looking at, so that I don't have to like ruin a nice like office work area, because I would like to bring people in, but actually just have like a portable panel system that I could fold and unfold and put up in case when I'm recording. So
I've been looking into buying one of those like 80 packs of panels or whatever, like the foot by foot panels.
About that,
yeah. Just because when I move into this new apartment, I'm planning on setting up a dedicated space for like the streaming setup, and because it's an apartment, there's people below me and there's people above me. And so I'm setting up hopefully where the bedrooms aren't, but I still want to get soundproofing like on the floor and on the ceiling, on the walls, to help dampen the sound of my microphone and echoes and stuff, but also to hopefully dampen the sound of me talking for people in my apartment building.
Yeah. That's something if my office, if I really get into the streaming portion, then I was telling my wife, I'm like, I'd consider like actually dedicating a room to a full on streaming studio if I really get into it, but I'll a shot. I mean, my goal will be to get to stream to Twitch affiliate by Christmas, by the holidays, I guess.
I'll
have the time to sit and do it.
I mean, it'll be funny. It'll be funny for you because once we get you set up with OBS, like once Hangouts goes away, like if you stream from your personal channel for the podcast instead of the SideQuest channel, or do both.
Or both.
It's just like anybody who watches, you can be like, just throw a follow on there.
Yeah,
you get to 50 followers in no time. The only thing that'll be difficult is you only podcast once a week. So
we would figure out other shit too.
Yeah, you'd have to be streaming games.
That's what would be definitely doing. And now that I have what's actually kind of nice about this, now I had never done this before, is to have a screen in front of me and have my PS4 right here and the Xbox One over here and the Switch right there. I'm like, oh, so this is how people actually do it. They put their goddamn game systems around them right by the screen so that they can plug in and have all that stuff there ready to go for streaming. So that's my plan. So
I have my TV sitting right behind my 3 monitors, and I'm so lazy. Nice. It's facing the other way because that's where my chair is. And I'm so lazy that instead of just turning the screen around so I can see it, I just plug the HDMI into a monitor and use my monitor as a TV when I'm playing. Yeah,
that works. It works. So we'll get into it because we're actually going to have some guests on the show here starting in the next few weeks. So start figuring out you and I around with Twitch and OBS and that kind of stuff. But let's get been playing. I'll let you go first this time. I think I went first last week, but what have you been up to?
I think you know what I've been playing.
Team Fight Tactics.
Yeah, what a fucking up and down roller coaster that's been.
Oh, tell me.
Well, I hit my wall, right? Huh? Like everybody hits a wall where the game stop being easy because you've roughly hit your skill level. And I hit my wall at the very bottom of the platinum division, so I think like 2 divisions below the absolute top. Like I think the ranks go iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and I think masters and maybe grandmasters, something like that, or grandmasters like the top 10% of masters. I don't know how the top works. I've never looked into it because that would be research, and I don't give a shit about research. But yeah, I got placed in a bronze, so I got placed in a division higher because of how well my placement matches did, and then I won and won and won. So I got bumped from bronze 3 to bronze 1 to silver 3 to silver 1 to gold 3. And then I started winning and losing. So I eventually got to gold 2. And then I slowly crawled my way to gold 1. And then I managed to just eke out a shitload of 4th place finishes and got promoted to platinum 4. And I've just never been able to get a win since then. I've got almost 100 matches played, and I haven't had a win in like a week.
Oh wow!
I'll get like top 2, 3, or 4 sometimes. I get second place a lot, especially when I'm playing at work. I tend to knock out some good games, but I haven't had a win in fucking forever. And then the other day I was streaming and I was just like trying to climb my way out of plat 4. Every division, there's 4 divisions. It's like, bronze 1, 2, 3, 4. So bronze 4 is the lowest, bronze 1 is the highest, and silver 4 is the lowest, and so on and so on. So I was in plat 4, and I was at like 60 out of 100 points. You hit 100, you go up a division. You get like 4 points for a 4th place finish. You get like 12 points for a 3rd place finish. You get like 15 points for a 2nd place, and you get like 25 or something for a 1st. Those aren't the right numbers. It's probably a little higher than that, except for 4th, because I'm so familiar with getting 4th. It's like 4 or 5 points. So I was at like 60 out of 100, and I was just like, all right, we're going to knock it out. And I got up to 80, and then I got a 7th place finish, and I got an 8th place finish, and I fucking lost all my points. And then I got demoted back to gold.
Oh,
and so I climbed my way back up and got back into play. I won a match. I got like 2nd place and 2nd place, and bam, promoted back to platinum 4 again. And then I climbed my way back up to like 55, 65 points. And then I got an 8th, and I lost all my points in one shot. And then I got demoted again on stream. And then I got demoted again. So I was in gold 3, or I was in gold 2. And then now I'm in gold 1, and I'm at like 90 out of 100 in gold 1. So I'm about to be promoted. So I hit my wall, and I can't get further than plat 4. I can get back to plat 4. I just can't get any higher.
Do you think there's like a is it more of like the competition is just a completely different level, or
I don't know, man, because it would be disingenuous to say that there aren't people better at the game than me. Like, I know enough, but there are people who can just like, read the game and like play the probabilities, and I'm just no good at that shit. So it's like, if I start a match and the game wants to be nice to me, it'll be like, here are the units you're thinking about. Just build your team and you'll get like 3rd place. And I'll be like, hey man, that's great. I'll take a 3rd place because that's points. But if I'm building something and somebody else is building the same units, like if they have units that I need and like the pool is empty, I can't get those units. And I'm really bad at transitioning to something else, and then I'll lose. And there are people who are just better at it. There are people who'll be like, I've been running like Demon Gunslinger, like 2 of the different alliances or whatever. I've been running that for the whole match. Oh, this guy's got a demon on the field. I can see exactly what team he's trying to build, and I can see what's on his board. I'm going to sell everything in this round, like 1 by 1. I'm just going to sell this off and replace it with this and replace it with this. Now I'm running a totally different team, and I win. And I'm just no good at that. But so it's a lot of that, and then a lot of it's RNG, because Teamfight Tactics is very item based. You might build a really good team, and then you get fucking dick all for items. And somebody gets a bunch of items, and in an even match, maybe you beat them, but their items are just doing so much for them that they beat you, and then it doesn't go your way. So it's a little bit of RNG. It's a lot of like, I'm just not as good at the game as I should be to get promoted, but it's just irritating because I can eke the wins out. Like, I can do it. It's just I get one of those bad RNG matches and lose. Like there was a day, the first day I was in plat 4, I lost a match, so I was at 0 points. I was facing demotion, climbed all day. It was like 9 hours of playing.
Jeez.
Getting 4th place and 3rd place and 4th place, and I got to like 95 points, and then I took 2 8th place losses, and it cut my points in half and knocked me to 0. The whole day was a waste. I literally started where I finished where I started at 0 points.
That's where the it's like those situations is when I have to like completely change my tactics. I
started watching streamers.
I
started watching there's a couple of streamers that have like 20,000-30,000 fucking viewers playing this game, and I just started watching what they're doing, and it's just like they're doing they're basically doing what I would do. Like, I don't understand. They're like, oh yeah, they got Grandmaster in like 2 days, and now they made new accounts on like EU and stuff, and now they're masters on those. And it's like, fuck.
It reminds me a little of and I think I've mentioned it before, Swords and Soldiers 2 that I was playing on the Switch. There was I was rocking, like, there's an online portion of the game, and I was just murdering people, murdering fools left and right in that game until I met up with like one dude who kept beating me over and over again. I realized like my typical tactics my strategies weren't working. So for those who don't know, Swords and Soldiers 2 is sort of this tower defense style, side-scrolling type of game. It's actually a really pretty game. I think I talked about it or did a review. So I'm facing off against this person online, and they're beating me bad every time because the traditional tactics that I used to get me there, the strategies I used, just wouldn't work against him. So then I kind of watched him and mimicked him one time and saw how he was doing things. And I thought, well, let me give that a shot. So I started copying him and ended up like getting a little bit further the next battle. I'm like, oh, okay. So I kept playing, mimicking what he had done the previous battle, and I got further, and then he slaughtered me, and I tried a couple more times, and he slaughtered me, and then I kept kind of tweaking my tactic as I was watching him play against me, and I kept getting further and further every time in the battle, and it was like this really weird sort of learning experience. Like I hit that wall, and I thought, I can't beat this guy, there's no way. And then finally I just started fucking copying him, and it got me, it actually made me a better player for the 3 people that were online playing that game. But I wonder if like this is I team fight tactics. I really want to get into it. I have a pile of games I'm looking at right here that are this is just a Switch games that I got to play. There's also some PSVR, a couple of games I want to play, and my finish off God of War, which I never did, in Spider-Man. And I don't want to get into yet another game that can suck up my time. Now, Teamfight Tactics isn't available on mobile yet.
It is not.
Right? Auto chess for the Dota auto chess is, I believe, correct.
So Dota auto chess is available on mobile.
I have that downloaded.
Dota Underlords, the Valve one specifically, is available on mobile.
Are they the same thing? Dota auto chess and under?
They are different games.
Okay, I have Underlords. Yeah,
Underlords is the Valve one.
Okay.
That's the one that pretty much everybody's playing if they're not playing Teamfight.
Got it. Okay.
Dota Auto Chess, the game made by the guy who made the mod, who made the mobile version before Underlords came out, is on Epic Games Store. So for anybody who pre-registered for the alpha, you can install it. You can redeem that code on the Epic Games Store. I have it installed right now, but I haven't played it yet.
So what I'm hoping to do is play this on mobile, because we are you can kind of sit at your desk or in meetings and then play something. And that's the only time I have to like try any new types of games is mobile games, when I'm in a meeting at the office and something's just kind of boring me out, but or at lunchtime. So that's what I'm planning and trying to get into this genre. But like I've been watching. I think I watched 1 or 2 year streams or something. I saw some other couple other folks play, and I thought, well, this could be something that may be more up my alley as opposed to just like regular Dota and League of Legends, that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that I actually get a chance to spend some time with it. I've had it downloaded on my phone. I think I have something downloaded on my Mac and something downloaded on my PC over there. So if I can get into this mobile wise for the next the next couple weeks here, that's why I got into Hearthstone. I was really into that because of the mobile version. I couldn't get into it on PC. I just didn't have the time to load up a new PC game. But when I was away from my PC, you better believe that I was playing Hearthstone like religiously for like 6, 7, 8 months. When it was first really popping on mobile. So I'm hoping this could be sort of the same way.
Yeah, well, if you're looking to learn the genre, mobile, and you want to play on mobile, Underlords is a good way to do it. Because you don't really need to know you don't need any experience with Dota, because all the information is presented to you in the game. Like if you're if you're buying units and you can make like a tier 2 unit or a tier 3 unit, there'll be a little glowy outline around the unit. So you can, at the very least, you can be making units and not like being like, oh, I don't know what I need, because it just kind of shows you. It'll show you information on like what their abilities are and what their teams are and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, I like this guy and this guy because they're on the same team. Let's put them out there. So you can learn. Teamfight Tactics. Teamfight Tactics is very bad about teaching you.
Oh, really?
Like it's very much predicated on the idea that you can recognize these characters by sight. Like there's a carousel round in between every set of matches where it just spawns like 10 champions running around in a circle, and you take turns picking like one by one, and there's no information. You just have to know what champion you want by sight. There's no way in game that I've ever found to look at all the different teams, and if you don't have somebody from a team on your board, it doesn't show you what the abilities are. So if you don't recognize the people and don't know what team they're on, like it'll show you, but it's like if you don't know what the abilities are, it's like, well, this one's a sorcerer, but what does sorcerer do? I don't have any sorcerers on my board right now, so what's the ability? But yeah, Underlords is good.
So Teamfight, it's how much time have you poured into TFT?
Oh my god, I don't know. I'm just gonna look something up here.
Sure.
Because there's a website called TFT, or it's called tracker.gg/TFT, and it's like a data scraper.
Oh, cool.
And one of the things it scrapes is Teamfight Tactics. So I have 108 matches played, which is in the top 0.5%.
Top 0.5%. Wow.
In terms of matches played. I have 5 wins. And wins in this count is only first place. For some reason, they don't count second, third, and fourth, even though they count in the game as a win. So I've got 5 first place finishes in ranked, which is the top 19%. I have 103 losses, so that's second through 8th, which is in the top 3%, 0.3%. Yeah. And at 108 matches, roughly 40 minutes a game.
Wow.
So 108.
Holy cow.
What would that be? 40 minutes times 108?
Hey Siri, what is 100 minutes times 48?
72 hours.
I found this on the web for Hey Siri, what is 100 minutes times 48? Check it out.
Thanks. She sends me a fucking link instead of actually answering that question.
Yeah. So I played 4,320 minutes.
Wow.
So divided by 60 would be 72 hours. I played 72 hours of Teamfight Tactics so far.
Good man. Good man.
Yep.
Yeah. So it looks like you like it. Sounds like you like it. It's funny is you've been playing it for a couple of weeks now, at least we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
I've been playing a little longer, but 72 hours actually isn't a lot when you think of like being dedicated to a game, because RPGs suck up way more time than that. Anyways.
Totally. I mean, the way I look at it is like is there a way to view your Steam library by time? You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. There might be. I actually think there is. There's a way to do it. Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to figure that shit out right now. Yeah. But if you look at my Steam library, it's like for every game that I play, I tend to peter out around 100 hours, regardless of the game. And the ones that I really like, I have like. Here's RimWorld with like fucking 1,500 hours. Here's Final Fantasy 14 with over 10,000 or whatever. And then the other ones are like 100 hours, 113 hours. So I'm getting to the point where it's either I'm going to stick with Teamfight Tactics for the long haul, or I'll just get bored, move on to something else. But I literally have a spreadsheet open right now looking at data scraped from the latest patch to figure out what the fuck I'm doing wrong.
That's good. I mean, that's how you learn to better yourself at these kinds of games. So yeah, I'll get it.
Here are the top 6 champs from the latest patch. Exactly. And it's like, I could buy those. I bet I could make that work. I can see the synergies. I can figure out like this demon, ninja, yordle, demon. It's like, okay, maybe I can make something work. Because I used to play that comp, and then everybody started playing it, so I had to try and figure out something else because they're all like, yeah. Anyway, if everybody's playing it, chances are only one person on the board is going to be able to build the team, and then everybody else only has like half a team, and you just get wiped. So it's like, oh, I got to figure something else, and that's why I get like second place finishes, because I have a team that I know isn't ever going to win, but it'll probably get top 4, and chances are nobody's going to build it. So I can just build it, and then I'll make it to the top 4, and then immediately get wiped out in the top 4,
and get wiped out again,
and get wiped out, and I'll get like 5 points. But yeah, anyway, I've been playing a lot of that.
That's good.
That's it. That's all I'm playing, and I've been streaming it. I stream every day.
Good man. We'll have to put the link. I'll put the link in the at least in the show notes, and maybe somebody will click something. You never know. I do have a quick Aaron-ish story. I was going to bring this up. Speaking of Final Fantasy 14, I was in a meeting with Toyota last week, I think it was, and I'm sitting there, and one of the guys that was in the meeting, a couple of the guys are from Japan, but the one of the designers was he was just kind of off. He was like checking his email or something, and I look over, and I was just kind of sitting there waiting for the meeting to kick off, or like halfway through the meeting. Actually, we had gone into like this little bit of a lull period, and I look over, and he had his button-down shirt was kind of open, and I noticed a very familiar looking like logo, like the XIV kind of hanging off the side of of his shirt. So like the meeting's kind of going at like a regular clip, and he's kind of checking his phone, checking his email or whatever, and he's kind of leaning back in his chair, and he looks up for a split second, and he sees me looking at him, and I'm like, Shadowbringers, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, scored bonus points with bring up Final Fantasy 14.
Nice.
I gotta get into Final Fantasy 14. It's the highest rated game of the year is Shadowbringers, which is bonkers.
And I didn't like it.
And you didn't like it, you motherfucker.
I didn't like it so much that I don't even feel comfortable writing something about it, because I'm only level 72 out of 80. Like I just stopped. I was like, this sucks. I hate everything about this. I don't want to play it anymore.
I was, like I mentioned before, I was big into Final Fantasy 11. Played that, poured like hundreds of hours into that. But I need to get into 14. Another game that I will never fucking have time to play.
You literally won't have time to play it.
I literally won't have time to play.
I literally have over my various accounts. I have over 10,000 hours in that game.
That's insane. I don't even know that there's that many hours in a lifetime.
I have over 10,000 hours in that game, and I wasn't even like a hardcore raider.
Yeah,
like I would do content once and then never do it again.
That's insane. I'm trying to think if I've played every single one of my video games together for a 10. I mean, I'm sure I have, but still. What I have been playing is a few little gems here. First of all, Nintendo had a really good couple mobile games in the Fire Emblems. Fire Emblem Heroes is fantastic. There's a new Fire Emblem game coming out next week. Tomorrow. 3 Houses. But Fire Emblem Heroes on mobile is still awesome. Dragalia Lost is really good.
Didn't like that.
You didn't like that?
I was in one of the countries that got to early test.
Okay,
I was one of those, because I played it like 6 weeks before anybody else could, if they weren't in like Canada or New Zealand, I think. I didn't like it. I didn't like the on-screen controls. I don't like that
either. I haven't dove too deep into it. That is that I wouldn't mind seeing with actual physical like button controls.
Yeah, I would love
Mario
that game
Run. I like Mario Run.
I thought Mario Run was okay, but I didn't like it enough to throw money down, so I only could play like the first 3 levels.
I put money down, but I feel gypped because it really isn't a $10 game, though it has Mario's name on it. But they've released essentially since then Pocket Camp. The game, there's nothing in there. I have it loaded. I think I still play it like every day because I feel bad. I think it's a good game to play when you're sitting on the toilet.
I feel gross. I feel gross about all of the mobile Nintendo games.
Dr. Mario World is just a bad game. It is not a good game.
And they've all got, like, including Dr. Mario World, they've all got they're just littered with microtransactions. Mm-hmm. It's just gross.
The Pokemon Rumble Rush game, not good. What's the one that they have coming out? They have another Pokemon Masters game coming out. Pokemon Quest is not good. Nintendo has, they're partnering with other companies to release these games, and it's like it feels like the ones that they've actually designed, the Fire Emblem Heroes and Mario Run, are actually fine. But when they tends to be kind of bad news bears. But yeah, Mario World, Dr. Mario World is not good. Pocket Camp is not good. Pokemon, none of these games. Pokemon Go is still fucking awesome 3 years later, and it's bigger than ever.
Nintendo was never a company that I associated with like microtransactions. Like that wasn't, even if they had them and stuff, like that wasn't a thing I associated with Nintendo. And then every time they release a mobile game, I go, oh, well, of course it's Nintendo. I bet there's littered with this shit. And I caught myself thinking that the other day, and I was like, oh no, I don't like I'm not a big Nintendo fan anyway. Like, you know, I liked the 64. I liked some of the stuff on the GameCube, like shit like that. But like, I'm not a huge Nintendo fan. I like Nintendo. I like their properties. Like I like Mario. I like Smash Brothers. I like Zelda. But it's just like, now I think about Nintendo, it's just like,
it has been ruined. They need to
bring Reggie back.
Bring Reggie. It's what happens when Bowser takes control. They really do need to get like. I still don't understand why they haven't put like Mario Run on the Switch. I mean, it's the backbone. I think it's got an Android backbone or some custom version of Android or Linux. Run on there. Throw some of the other games on there. You'll make money on Mario Run and on Dragalia Lost if you sold it as a package, as individual packages. But whatever. Anyways, the only reason I brought that up is because I tried Mario World and that was not good. And the Pokemon Rumble Rush game that came out just now, that's not good either. I have been playing Ultimate Alliance 3, which is I've talked a lot about games that are like solid 7s or 7.5s.
Is that the new one?
That's the new Marvel. Yep, the new one. It's exclusive to Nintendo for now. I think this game will come out like by February and March of next year. It'll be on other platforms. It just kind of feels like it's an Activision game. Nintendo is publishing it, but it's Activision and Tecmo Koei, Team Ninja. I thought it was Activision. That's what it was. Activision published the first two. Koei Tecmo, whatever it is. But it looks like they have the.
Have I told that story on the podcast before about my friend who worked on Ultimate Alliance 2?
You mentioned it, but I don't think you actually went deep into it.
I had been writing quote unquote professionally for like a year at that point, and my friend was an artist.
You guys were in a car together.
Yeah, we were coming back from the city for the weekend for like a party or something like that, and I hitched a ride with him, and he was telling me, he's like, oh, I'm working on this new game, like I designed this thing. You every time you go to this, like you go to the mansion, there's a fountain in the courtyard, and I designed that fountain and it made it into the game. He was all proud of it, and I was like, oh, what's up, what's the game? And he was like, oh, it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. And I was like, I don't think that game's out for like 8 months. He's like, yeah, I worked on it. I was like, I'm a game critic, right? Like I write about this shit. And he goes, and I went, I'm not gonna write it, don't worry about it. He was like, oh.
I liked Ultimate Alliance 2, and Ultimate Alliance 3 is it is another Ultimate Alliance game. Like Team Ninja nailed it. If you liked the first two Ultimate Alliance games, this one is it's the best of the three. I feel even though it like rehashes the Infinity Saga, it's okay because they've done like it's all the characters, like it's every Marvel character. You got the X-Men in there, you got, and they all have really cool like suit designs, and it's kind of more comic book-ish design stuff too, which is nice. But go ahead.
Is Quicksilver in it?
No, Quicksilver's not in it. I think Marvel's waiting to introduce him in the Fantastic Four. Actually, the Fantastic Four is one of the announced DLC, so he may be a part of that. We'll see, because he's kind of more Fantastic Four side of Marvel. Which at SDCC they announced that they're working a way to get the Fantastic Four.
No, Quicksilver, not the Silver Surfer.
Oh, Quicksilver. Oh, why did I think Silver Surfer? No, I don't see. If he's in it, I haven't gotten him yet. But again, they're also bringing the. They have the Scarlet Witch in there, but they are going to bring the X-Men into. Like there's going to be a whole X-Men DLC, and then he may be a part of that X-Men DLC. Like right now, the major X-Men that are featured. Is Wolverine, I think, like Deadpool and like one or two other characters, but there's a ton, and Storm. There's a ton of characters in the game already, and And Marvel's doing a good job of like there's these cool little like touches they have where they've gotten like voice actors from cartoons, from the Marvel cartoons to reprise their characters in the game. They've gotten because they can't use the MCU, right?
Right.
We're seeing what's happening with the Avengers game where they're trying to create their own realistic universe, and because the MCU is fresh in their minds, they can't do it. With this, they're going more of the comic book route, but they have the dude that plays Spider-Man he does the voice for Spider-Man in Insomniac Spider-Man game, does the voice for Spider-Man in this game. They have like certain folks do Rocket Raccoon. You know, a lot of the characters are voiced the same. Costume designs of them are like iconic. So it's actually it really is like an ultimate alliance. It's the Avengers of iterations of these characters here and there. So it's just from a character design style.
You're Lowenthal.
Yeah. The visuals are. I've been mostly playing handheld. Visuals are okay. Anyway, that is they just remind me of Ultimate Alliance 1, 2, but a little bit more comic bookish, I guess you could say. There's like they do a lot of character outlines and making them pop off the screen. But I do like in this game that they let you, and I don't recall it in the other two Marvel games. They let you kind of go into this sort of behind the back character camera, so you can utilize it more like a traditional action game. You can also do that zoomed out camera doesn't pan mode, which Ultimate Alliance was known for. But now, yeah, you can get behind the back of the character and treat it like a more traditional game, which is pretty neat. So, yeah, it's not gonna blow any minds whatsoever, but I like how easy it is to switch characters. They're basically each all mapped to the different the D-pad buttons, and you see them on the screen. It's real quick to change them that way. There's like these cool little combo moves. They call them like synergies, I think. So I'm enjoying it. I've only been playing it for like 3 or 4 hours. I think the game's only like 12 or 15 hours if you try to unlock the majority of the stuff there. But I said it's a solid. I like the solid 7.5 games, and this falls right in there, which is essentially it's you don't have to overthink it. You just kind of go in, enjoy your time with it, and pick it up later on if you want to as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It was a good choice to pick this sucker up. And then I'm playing Splatoon 2, which had its Splatfest. The final Splatoon 2 Splatfest this past weekend. And I had forgotten how great of a game both Splatoon games are. Splatoon 2 is really refined. It may still be my favorite online multiplayer game because I'm not generally good at being the aggressive go after other. This is why I suck at like Fortnite and PUBG and that kind of stuff. I'm not great at going after other players, but I'm really good at contributing in Splatoon 2. The two ways you contribute in the game are either shoot the other player, the other players, the enemy, or you ink as much area as you can. And I'm really good at inking area. I can kind of, get little crevices and little points. I know when to go out. Both my daughter and I play the exact same way or similarly. And I forgot how good it is because I can still contribute and feel like I'm adding to the 2-hour matches, and I'll let the other dudes, like other teammates, go out and take care of our our opponents. And so they had their final with Splatfest. So those are like the online. They're usually like once a month or once every couple of months. They're online multiplayer events, and they would always be themed. So you pick a side, like do you like pizza or popcorn? Do you like cake or pie? And you just pick a side, and all it is it gets people a way to have two major sides in these matches. And so Chaos and Order were the two sides for this final Splatfest for Splatoon 2. We picked Team Order because Team Order is Marine. I'll tell you why. Chaos won, by the way.
Of course it did.
Yes. And it walloped Order, but it's aligned to the two characters. Every of these Splat Splatfest. Each one is aligned to one of the two kind of main, I don't want to say characters, but like the pop star characters that are sort of like the narrators for the game. Pearl and Marina. And Pearl is a squid, and Marina is the octopus DJ girl. Pearl's like the squid pop singer. And so Chaos was Pearl, the pop singer squid. And Marina has been my girl the whole time in Splatoon 2. Like, I was religiously picking whatever she had, even if I didn't always agree with it.
Which one's the one that's in Smash Bros?
That's the ink. That's just the Inkling. Inkling girl. So you have to be an Inkling girl or Inkling boy or Octoling girl, Octoling boy. But yeah, Pearl and Marina are sort of the pop star narrators, and I chose Marina, and she was Order, and we got beat. But it was. I gotta say, it was an enjoyable Splatfest. It's you get your best players out because you get bonuses if you win, and you can use those bonuses to kind of tune the weapons and the outfits and stuff that you have in the game. So when you do play online, you get little. There's no like, it's not play to win or anything, but you can do stuff like you can warp, recover from a respawn a little bit quicker, or you can hold, or your ink can get recharged a little bit faster, things like that. You can run a little bit faster, but they're all kind of contained so that even if you get these bonuses, all the opponents get like variations as well of that kind of stuff. So the game's pretty nice to even around about, but it's still so good. And what they've been doing with these final Splatfests is that you basically choose between the two characters, and that directly affects the storyline in the next game. And timing-wise, yeah, they're totally working on Splatoon 3. Splatoon 2 came out in 2017, July, so exactly 2 years ago. I think it came out 3 years after the first Splatoon game, or somewhere around there.
The timing works.
Timing works. And when you think about it, next summer is 3 years after Splatoon 2, because with the Switch, which I think is perfect timing to release a new Splatoon game. And I actually think it's going to happen next summer. I think that's a game that we find out about in the springtime, and Nintendo says coming in July or August or sometime next year is Splatoon 3, because it's the biggest seller in Japan. It was the highest selling game in Japan over the last basically 2 years, until Smash Brothers dethroned it. And this is like highest across all games. Like Splatoon 2 is regularly in the top 2 or 3 or 4 games of Japanese sales. So in the home country over there, it's like a 2 million or 3 million selling game. It's sold a couple million here in the US, and it's got a huge following. So I could see them putting something out next year sometime, and helping boost Switch sales. So yeah, I've been playing both those, and they're both really good, and they're just like super satisfying games. I haven't played any multiplayer in Ultimate Alliance 3, but definitely enjoyed the Splatfests. So there we go.
Nice.
That's basically what we've been playing. I had my backlog of games here that I mentioned, so I went and started installing them on the Switch. Ran out of room. I had a 256 gig card, and then I remembered that I have a 400 gig card that I ordered. It's sitting right here, so I got to transfer everything over to this 400 gig card. So that's my next goal, to do that. I think one of the strange things, though, is I have to have two USB, essentially two ways to transfer the files over. One via USB and one dropping the SD card directly into the MacBook, because the Mac itself doesn't have that much space, obviously. So I think they were selling like a 1 terabyte card on Prime Day for I don't know, it was like $400 or like $300, something crazy like that. But they'll get those prices will come down pretty quick here. I wouldn't be surprised to see those drop. So anyways, that's a split. That's what I've been playing. We've actually been chatting for a good chunk of time. Let's get into some news and kind of blast through that, and then we can pack her up for the day.
All right. I guess we'll start with this because we're talking Nintendo. Nintendo's going to be repairing the Joy-Con drift problem for free.
That is good, because I have a lot of Joy-Con drift issues. Yeah.
So This is from Patrick Klepek over at Waypoint, or I guess Vice.com/games now, or whatever their brand.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Vice Games. He got his hands on an internal memo from Nintendo instructing all of their reps to tell people that if they're calling with the Joy-Con drift, that they can get it fixed for free, even if it's out of warranty.
That's good.
It's good, and also I think they're trying to avoid that lawsuit.
Yep, they sure are.
Yeah.
Out of the 6 Joy-Con that I have, 3 of them are experiencing drift. One of them in a really major way. And I was gonna try to fix it on my own, but now that they're doing this for free, I'll just contact them and have them take care of it. But they are it's I don't know I have no idea how Nintendo, whoever their supplier was for these sticks, did a shitty job of
it was Yahweh in China.
Was it really?
No, I have no idea.
I don't know. Whoever is really bad.
My mom has one of their phones, and it's. Yeah.
I had a here's something I did. I had a don't try this at home. Don't this is gonna get me in trouble eventually one day when I run for president. This one will pop up. I bought I have these yellow, kind of these neon yellow Joy-Cons, which I absolutely love. They're like a really nice color. They spit all over the place. And the left Joy-Con was experiencing not drift, but disconnecting. Like that was the first problem, was the Joy-Con disconnecting. The left Joy-Con was disconnecting a lot. And so I started my left Joy-Con, these brand new Joy-Cons that I bought, started disconnecting after like, I don't know, 3 months or 4 months or something, 2, 3, 4 months. And I thought, well, shit, I didn't want to spend, I think it was like $50 or $40 to get this thing fixed, something stupid like that. And I'm like, I could just buy a new set of Joy-Cons. So went and bought a new set of Joy-Cons, brought them home, the same kind, the yellow kind. And I thought, if I'm really careful, I can take the Joy-Cons out of this box.
Oh, no.
And replace it with my messed up one.
Oh, Dally,
and
no.
send it back. And so
Dally, you're gonna go to jail.
I'm going to jail. No, but I ended up returning the Joy-Cons because I still have this shitty Joy-Con. But moral of this, or the point of the story is, I managed to figure out how to open Nintendo's Joy-Con boxes without it being noticeable, because they don't put stickers on the bottom of these. They put them on the top, but the bottom is like way easier to open. You just kind of push up the middle with your thumb. If anybody's listening to this, don't do this. It's bad.
Don't try this at home.
I'm not winking. Don't do it. But you can just push up on the thing, and it will very easily open up the box. So
that's funny.
Anyway, so yeah, I have 3 Joy-Con problems now, and I need to get I'm just gonna call in. I'm gonna call in a favor on Nintendo and just send them. I'm tempted to just send 4 at a time, just so I know for sure that I'm not hallucinating, and that they, a couple of them need fixing. So that's my it's a good move by Nintendo. They're trying to get out of that issue. I wish they would publicize it to everyone. Like, they have, like, send a notice out on the Switch for folks that if they're experiencing issues, because there's no way you're going to find out unless you contact Nintendo and go through their online stuff. You're not going to find out at Best Buy or Walmart or wherever you bought this thing from, or if you got it as a gift, you're not going to find out. So you're probably some people are just going to end up buying new Joy-Cons, like what I did.
And then those will drift.
So yeah, definitely. What else we got?
Star Citizen, they passed 230 million in crowdfunding.
Damn, that game's going to come out one day.
So the only reason I included this is one of those little half stories, because I talk about Star Citizen every now and again. The top Reddit comment from a user on Reddit named The Sign Painter, I thought said it best, where their comment was, there's literally no justifiable reason for this game to have that much money and not have a stable, playable game yet.
Wow. That's insane.
It seems like the crowd has turned on Star Citizen. Because it used to be everybody was praising it, right? Like, everybody was like, oh my God. And then that was, what, 7 years ago? Something
like that. Something insane like that.
Speaking of money, GTA Online's new casino update is live. So the backstory for this is that in the name of the city is escaped, Los Santos, I think.
Los Santos, yeah.
there's been a casino just in the city, and there's been a sign in front of the casino for fucking forever, just saying like coming soon. And it was just there, and you couldn't do anything with it. It was just something. It was just a building. And now it's in the game. It's a full-fledged casino. It disables weapons and fighting when you go in. There's like poker and like slot machines.
Well, after an update, I think there was a recent update for online where it showed the like construction crews in the building it. Yeah.
So along with that update, they added anti-griefing features to the game.
Okay.
So one of the biggest complaints that you hear everywhere about GTA Online is you go into a lobby and there's just like some asshole in like an attack helicopter, and they'll just kill you and kill you and kill you. And people will go into what they call passive mode, which basically turns you into a ghost and pop out of passive mode and like mow you down and then jump back into passive mode so you can't retaliate. They added a bunch of stuff into there to change that. So there's like a delay on when you can come in and go out of passive mode. You can't go in passive mode if you're using weapons or you're in a vehicle with weapons. So if you're killing people, people can now kill you back. And I think they've added an option for if somebody's repeatedly killing you, there's an option to make you invisible to that person specifically. So they can't. But $800 USD if you want to buy everything in this new update. That's how much it'll cost.
I can see people doing that. I am really surprised that GTA 5 still hasn't made its way to Switch or the original Red Dead, because GTA 5 launched on 360 and PS3. People still play it on those systems. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
thinking about installing GTA 5 again.
Yeah,
because I want to play some poker.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Nice.
I haven't gone back to Red Dead because I don't have PS Plus. I have Grand Theft Auto Online on Steam though. I
have a copy of Red Dead for the Xbox 360.
Yeah,
the original Red Dead. There's a rumor that broke earlier this week that said that they were going to be remastering the original Red Dead, which I don't think.
That rumor's been around for forever.
Yeah. They keep mentioning that rumor, but you don't need to remaster it. You got Red Dead 2 is out, so
yeah. Overwatch has a new hero.
Yeah,
Sigma. He's a tank. He's a bad guy. He fucks with gravity. He has the coolest story cinematic that I think I've seen come out of Overwatch.
I was going to say the same thing. His cinematic is really good,
and whoever the voice actor is who did his voice is really good in that. That's pretty much it. I saw some early gameplay video of people doing really cool stuff with his gravity powers, like going under maps and stuff like that to like flank people. He seems cool, and it's good that the bad guys have a tank.
Yeah.
I think at this point you could now have like a full balanced like Overwatch versus Talon match now. I think there's enough on both sides that you could pull that off. Yeah. Google Stadia. The
Stadia news.
The creators are out there. They're on Reddit, and I think they did an interview with GameSpot, just begging people to trust them. That here's what I've written. So here's exactly how I wrote this down when I saw this. Google Stadia creators are out there begging people to trust them, and this time it's for real, you guys, totally. And they're saying, they're like, no, we're definitely gonna support it. We're in it for the long haul. We're gonna keep investing in it. You guys just got to trust us. And this came out of everybody being like, it's all in the cloud. How do we guarantee our purchases? Like that conversation. And then on Reddit specifically, it was like an AMA. And I mentioned the 4 phones that Stadia is launching on. In the AMA, they mentioned that the only way to stream Stadia to a television at launch is with the use of a Chromebook Ultra. So if you don't have Chromebook Ultra, you ain't got Stadia on your TV, and if you don't got one of those fucking Pixel phones, you don't got mobile. This is not. Stadia's looking worse and worse every day, man.
It is.
They described it as They said everybody thinks it's going to be like Netflix for games, and they said it's going to be more like PlayStation Plus with like one free game a month.
They said like one free game a month, and I'm thinking that's not. Yeah, if you're paying a subscription, you should get everything for free, right?
If the whole point of the subscription is that I don't have to buy the fucking games.
Yeah.
If I have to buy the games, why would I buy it digitally from people who have a history of dropping
for the same price, right?
For the same price, yeah.
Well, we don't see why there'd be a different price. Well, then fuck it. I will buy it for PS4, PS5 in like Ultra 4K.
Yeah.
Just so I can play it between my phone with shitty touchscreen controls or my laptop. Like that's it. or a TV on a Chromebook Ultra or whatever,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna. It's
The
it's
value proposition for Google Stadia is essentially gone.
yeah.
There's no reason to get a Google Stadia at this point.
It's gonna take a while to build up. To be honest, like they kept talking about you could play any game anywhere, and there's like asterisks all over that statement because you can't play any game because they're not free. You have to pay for them still. They're not yours, and you can't play them if you don't have
The specific
online.
device required.
The specific device is required. If the game is really, it's this is where Microsoft has a huge advantage because they've been doing this and they have it all baked in. They're ready to go. Google does not have a gaming pedigree. They have the Google Play Store and they've done Google Doodles, I think, and I don't think there's anything else beyond that. I think they had some stuff on the Google TV here and there, but it would have been better for them to actually. I hate to say it this way, but they should have just purchased a company that was already doing something and then learning from, like they did that with Nest. Like Nest was the thermostat that Google purchased that company relatively early in the Nest lifespan, and they've learned from that. And like Google Home is all like they learned from the Nest stuff. So the Google Home was pretty cool, but Stadia there's so many unknowns with it. It's definitely it appeals to first adopters like Tom, which is why Tom right away ordered it. I'm curious to see if he'll actually be able to play it.
Here's my thing, and this is what it boils down to.
Outside of the PC that it's on.
This is what it boils down to, and it absolutely colors how I do the news. But I don't trust Google.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust them to do the right thing, and I don't trust them to support this. And it's one thing to use Gmail, which is free, and it would be irritating if they just closed Gmail, but there are other emails I could go to. It'd be a pain in the ass, it'd be a little bit of work, but I could absolutely migrate to another email.
Yep.
I don't have to pay them anything for that.
Right.
If I have to buy every game I want to play at $60, or in Canada closer to $90 after taxes and shit, and then in like 2 fucking years they go, oh, we're not doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, I guess. Like, I'm sure I don't get a refund on all those fucking games I bought.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have any interest in spending that money on a thing that I can't trust. Maybe 2 years down the road, if they really show that they... Yeah. But even then, like 2 years down the road, is Stadia going to be... Stadia, they're saying like, oh, it can do all the games now. It's like, well, 2 years down the road, the next generation of consoles are probably going to be out. Can it do those games?
Right.
Those games are going to be...
One thing that Google never answered, that still hasn't figured out, is peripherals. You can't really do motion controls with Google Stadia, right? Streaming video and the lag, even the slightest microsecond of lag, it throws off motion controls. VR, can't do VR with Google Stadia.
No, you get sick.
You're gonna get completely sick. So they're already kind of behind, and this is a case where let Microsoft handle it because they already have the infrastructure. They already know what they're doing. Google should have come up with something that was completely unique and completely Google, like, I don't know, like their own way of doing things. This isn't like, I could see Nintendo doing something completely different, right? Nintendo would do this, and they would have it. It would just be on the Switch, but it would work with only with motion controls in VR or something stupid like that. But it would be a Nintendo way of doing something. Google doesn't seem to have an understanding of why what people want out of streaming games, and it's not future focused. It's very focused on delivering the awesome games from like 2 years ago that didn't have any of this extra stuff built into it. So it's going to be it's an uphill battle for Google, especially with this soft launch that they're trying. They're trying to get money out there and people to invest in it by buying these game controllers. But I think it's going to be a a little while. Yeah, I can see a couple years before it actually becomes a thing if they're able to make it a thing. You want the Netflix of games, and right now there isn't one. Microsoft has the best opportunity because they already have that backlog, and Game Pass is maybe the closest thing to a Netflix of games. And to be honest, the Nintendo Online, the NES Online stuff has a pretty good amount. I think there's like 60 or 70 NES games on there already, and that's essentially a Netflix for games too. So it's very similar to Game Pass, where it's kind of pick the game you want to play, click it, and it starts right up. So Stadia is already behind a lot of stuff, and they mentioned some really kind of interesting things in the during their presentation about Stadia, but you didn't get to see any of it. It was just talk about what was going to be cool, So I don't know. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm very hesitant on Stadia at the moment. We'll see.
Well, speaking of seeing things, segue. Fortnite is doing something pretty cool. So the Fortnite World Championship, or whatever they're calling it, Fortnite World Cup, is happening this weekend. And so they've added a picture-in-picture mode to Fortnite. So you can watch it as you're playing Fortnite if that is your jam.
Think Tom is there. Tom's heading over to that.
Yeah. I just included that because I think that's very cool. Like I thought about that. I don't care about Fortnite like as a game. Like that's not my jam. But that technology, like if I could be watching a stream of Teamfight while playing Teamfight, like inside the client, that would be really cool. Instead of, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I've got 3 monitors. I can just have a stream up if I wanted in a window.
Right.
So it doesn't matter to me. But that technology seems cool. Like I can remember. Oh God, I'm going to age myself so badly here. I can remember the first TV somebody in my family got that had picture-in-picture.
Oh God, that was mind-blowing.
They had to pay extra for it from their television provider for it to work. And they used to use it for sports. They would watch their sports and they would watch the news, and they would flip it back and forth depending on what news story they were trying to catch or what was happening in the game. And that used to fucking blow my mind. You're watching 2 channels at the same time? It's just, I don't know. So they're doing that, and that just seems cool. It seems super impractical. Like,
you gotta give it up to Epic because they've done things like this. They actually had a big kaiju battle that took place in their world this week, and then they've done concerts. They've done like presentations and stuff within Fortnite. It reminds me of a lot of the stuff that Sony used to do with Little Big Planet. Remember they did all that stuff in Little Big Planet, but it's.
I was gonna say the flip side is they do all that stuff. All of the features that they had announced for the game store for June have been pushed back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
None of them came out, and they've all been pushed back. I think June and July maybe they've all been pushed. So that's sort of fallen behind schedule. But this is cool.
I think it's cool. I think it's when you're the master of the technology. I think it's pretty awesome. Anything else?
Yeah, it's kind of a sad one. Jeff Robinson, passed away this past Saturday at age 33. Yeah, he was known online as In Control. He was a pillar of the StarCraft 2 community. He started out on the StarCraft 2 Evil Geniuses team. He moved into commentating. He was on a bunch of like live D&D type shows. He was on a StarCraft 2 like esports focus show with like Artosis, another very famous caster. He was just a cool dude. It seemed like just really fun to listen to, super analytical and knowledgeable. And I guess he had been having health problems for a very long time. And he got a blood clot in his lung and passed away on Saturday. And his family took to Twitter to announce it on his account, and then came back on to clarify, saying he went peacefully, surrounded by friends. But yeah, it sucks.
That's a bummer. It's toughest for the family. Obviously, I mean, it's always sad when somebody passes like this, but you gotta your heart goes out to the family, and hopefully they can take some solace, take something, knowing that he meant so much to so many people outside of just a family. That's one thing that the streamer and the gaming community does, is that it's very, for as many, and I hate using the word gamers, because everybody, you don't have TV watchers, you don't have music listeners, you have like audiophiles and cinephiles, but I don't think there's gamophiles yet.
There are people that want to have sex with 2D anime girls.
Yes, exactly.
And video game girls.
But
maybe those are gamophiles.
Maybe, but the overall gaming community is pretty tight knit when it comes to being knowledgeable of each other, and being able to provide positive and good influences on each other, and get to know each other. And so, as much as we rip on streamers and influencers, they get to where they engage with the community, and they build up this rapport, and people that are when stuff like this does happen, it affects more than just their immediate family, because it's they've touched so many people. So it's we send obviously you send your condolences to the families in this type of situation, but again, at least hopefully they can take some little bit of light and some silver lining, in that he meant so much, so many people, and his legacy will live on for sure. So, but our legacy will live on for another week, at least on YouTube. As I think next week is the very last week. Today's the 25th, Thursday. If we record on the, I think it's exactly
the last day. It'll be August 1st if we do this on Thursday. If we do it Wednesday, it'll be the 31st.
So we can still do it on Wednesday, because it's going away on August 1st. So we will do it we'll record either Tuesday or Wednesday next week as our goodbye to YouTube, and we'll have to figure out how to fucking go forward.
I just gotta test it. As soon as I figure, as soon as I see if it works, I'll know it works.
Excellent.
And then I can just fucking walk you through it step by step, getting everything set up.
Yep. With that, you can find us, at least in the meantime, at sidequesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch. You can find me at Dolly Domovsky. Where can we find you, Aaron?
You can find me on Twitter at ScrattyBones. You can find me quite recently every day on twitch.tv/ScrattyBones.
Earning that Twitch affiliate money.
If you like Teamfight, come watch. I very occasionally do play other things. I was playing some 7 Days to Die last night.
Nice.
Yeah, just playing on a friend's server.
Is that the Telltale? Was that Telltale?
No, that's the open world survival zombie thing.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think that was Telltale was trying to publish that initially, right?
Really?
7 Days to Die or whatever that is. Yeah, they had signed it to publish it, and then I think that that changed after obviously all the Telltale stuff went through. So cool. All right, with that, we'll leave you guys. Thanks for hanging out. It's the middle of summer. It's actually Christmas in July right now. It's July 25th. I guess I don't know if that's a thing or not. We'll see you guys. Ho ho ho. Bye bye.
Peace.
And we